like for everybody, there is some amount of influence that comes from the people that we interact, the companies that we work with, and there's a lot of learning, and it's always about you are actually learning a lot more than what you are actually giving back. For me, also, it's been the same. My first company, which was Interleague Group, or the first company that I worked with, Interleague Group, it was, the focus was essentially about running marketing teams. And actually, from my boss in those days, I learned was that attention to details. The smallest print error also should not occur. The god or the devil is in the details. As I kept moving up on the career, on my career path with Dell, it was primarily about, and it was a great learning for me, because at Dell, the trick was that everything has to be measured. There is nothing that cannot come inside a metrics. And I was actually taken aback, because marketing, sales, and sales of course can be measured, but marketing, employee motivation, even things like that actually were given scores. Because at Dell it was very simple. You got to, if you have to get something done, you got to measure it, you got to manage it, and then you got to finally maximize it. Unless you can measure it, nothing happens. And as I kept moving, at SunTech, it was primarily about how to actually help sales folks get those sales meetings that they want, actually run a global marketing team. And that was the kind of experience that I had there. At AppLabs, it was quite different, because at AppLabs, my role was, of course, the marketing side of it. And also I had the fortune of running a pretty large inside sales team, about 40, 45 people. And then, so that was something that actually paved the foundation for movingDneedle or Funnl as in 2013. Then I moved out of AppLabs, owned a stake in a company called Tailcurrent, and moved out of that company, exited that company, and then started this company called movingDneedle. So I would say the roots of movingDneedle, to a big extent, are at AppLabs, because AppLabs is a company that I actually ran an inside sales team, and I realized one thing. There are a lot of companies out there. There is a business opportunity here, because there are quite a few companies out there who actually do not want to probably take the pains of running, owning, managing an inside sales team, but they do want the value that an inside sales team can get: sales qualified meetings. And then, that's what essentially I converted into a business. And then along with my co-founder, Alpesh, we got started. And, then it has obviously been a good story so far. We've been learning, we've been growing. Yeah, absolutely. AI has a very important role to play from both a data mining perspective, from understanding persona perspective, and from overall success of sales. Now, but that said, along with that AI comes its limitations as well. Sales is still, at least in enterprise sales, which is what we are focused on, which is what Funnl or movingDneedle is focused on. There's a lot of effort that the salesperson still has to put in. Because if the sales is not just a transaction, it's also a lot of trust. It's also a lot of psychological, it's a lot of ownership that the salesperson actually takes when he's trying to sell a solution, which is like a turnkey solution, which is like an IT solution or the software testing solution and things like that. So while AI does play its role in opening the doors, and I'm quoting probably from a movie, it does open the door, but the salesperson has to walk in. Otherwise it doesn't happen. When we were selling into the US, especially the US markets and the UK market, which is what our focus is, there's a lot of value that comes associated with when you have your skin in the game. And we definitely wanted to have our skin in the game. It's not like, give some contacts, because there's this term lead is itself, in my opinion, is misused a lot. Anything, if somebody who downloads a web form is called a lead. Somebody who writes into you is called a lead. And for me, or for Funnl, a lead is actually a context-aware meeting that happens between the decision maker and the salesperson, with the decision maker being fully aware that the salesperson here is to sell or persuade him to look at something that is on the table from the company that the salesperson represents. So that is what is a lead for me. That's what a sales qualified meeting is for us at Funnl. And that is what we are trying to actually push for our customers. Now, the pay for performance is essentially to tell our customers that we have got our skin in the game. You pay us only if the meeting actually happens. Now, if the meeting doesn't happen for whatever reason, the prospect does not join, or whatever could be the reason, a bridge doesn't work, for instance, even then the hit is on moving the needle. So we make sure that we get paid for what we are actually worth. And of course, the salesperson wants us to succeed. It's not like the salesperson is going to report back after a good call, hey, this call didn't go well. They obviously tell us the truth. They tell us give us great feedback. And we take that forward from that perspective. So that's a win-win solution that we saw evolve. There are quite a few customers who have seen tremendous success with us. The customers, especially, customers that were our first customer, and I'm so proud to say that the customer that we had signed up for the first time at Funnl. Now it's 10th year. We are celebrating our 10th anniversary this year, and shortly we'll be doing, some celebrations would happen.
Wow.
Those customers are still there with us.
Yeah.
So that
speaks long.
Yeah,
decade-long relationship.
That speaks volumes about what we actually deliver for our customers consistently. See, in a sales scenario, it's very, very important that the partner that you're associated with delivers consistently. Not like, I give you 3 meetings in 1 month and then you are dry for the next couple of months. And then again, I give you 10 meetings. That doesn't actually help. Consistently producing sales qualified meetings over month after month. I would not even say month after month, years after years, we have been doing it. Oh. So we have seen customers sign millions of dollars of deals, total contract value running into millions of dollars. We have seen our customers actually sign. So it's been a good run. It's been a good run for our customers for sure. And for us, of course, it's like I always say, Funnl is a company, or movingDneedle is a company that lives on the reflected glory that our customers have. When a customer wins, of course, we are not the people who actually sell, but when a customer wins a deal, when a salesperson achieves his quota, when a salesperson actually calls up and says, hey, Sanju, that meeting went very well, and I'm sure we're going to get something out of it. That reflected glory, that's our fuel, I would say. That keeps us going. That's probably, where a lot of my time is being spent right now. A lot of time, a lot of investment. Because what we realized over the years, we've been doing this for about 10 years. We realized that there is a lot of best practices that we have learned, but we have created over these years. Now, giving that solution to a customer at an enterprise level is one thing. You could always sell to the customer, and it's a lot more touch and feel partner relationship that you have. But there is a lot of customers out there, prospects out there, who probably do not want or do not have the ability to pay that kind of money. And they always want, they also want great leads. They also want leads that come in, customer meetings that can happen. So, I could probably, you might probably say this is something that is, that's just a vision that this guy is just talking in thin air. But I'm trying to use Funnl.ai as more like a way of democratizing this process that we have evolved over the years, even to the customers that are not enterprise customers. Of course, enterprise customers have a very clear idea about what they're going after, what kind of leads they want. They have real sales teams actually functioning. So they need a different kind of service. They need a different kind of, partnership, relationship with their partners like Funnl. But there are other customers. There are companies that there are small companies that actually sell into enterprises. For example, a company that probably is, say, having gifting solutions. A company that sells T-shirts. These are all companies that also sell into enterprise. And for them, reaching out to the right person, the procurement head, for instance, is actually a good meeting. But they obviously would not want to spend the kind of money that an enterprise customer is willing to spend. And that is where this concept of democratizing the whole the whole lead generation industry is what our next vision is with Funnl. Of course, it's not going to be probably achieved even in my lifetime, but that is where we are heading to. We're trying to make sure that lead generation is something that anybody can pick up, do it themselves with reasonably good results.
Yeah, I think that is one of the biggest pain points for an entrepreneur, because he cannot afford at that stage to have a sales team or, to spend so much. So he wants to grow along with the sales that are happening. And I think in that way, this is good. But what about the competitive landscape that is present today, and how Funnl would like to position itself vis-a-vis the competitors?
Well, there are companies that sell data.
Yeah.
There are companies that sell platforms for emailing. There are not many companies that are there which do all of this together. So, and more than anything else, I don't think there are a lot of companies that actually help you understand who you are supposed to be going after. See, because we run a lot of campaigns. We run about 100 to 200 customers. We run thousands of campaigns at a given time. And there's a lot of inputs that come in from those campaigns, responses. So we are able to pretty well understand using technology. Again, going back to, that's where the enabler, technology as an enabler is what I see, AI. Understanding what kind of people are responding to what kind of messages, what kind of titles are essentially working, or what kind of roles are the most prominent roles for a certain kind of solutions or products. Those inputs that reside in our system. So using that and extreme, machine learning and artificial intelligence and all of that, we are able to actually tell our customers, prospects who are coming to Funnl, that if you give 3 or 4 names of your ideal customer or your existing customer, we would be able to give you, based on our knowledge, who are you supposed to sell into? What are the titles that make best sense to you? What is the kind of messaging that you should be writing to them using, again, ChatGPT? So all of this put together is what we are trying to create a system that does end-to-end lead generation. I mean, I really don't like to call it lead generation. I would say sales meeting generation for a customer on their own. But of course, like Shashi, the play is about data. So if as the company scales, obviously they would need a lot more data. And then the SaaS, probably from a SaaS platform, they probably migrate into an actual managed services kind of thing. But at the beginning, for a company that's a small company, which is getting started, which is mostly run by the founder himself or herself, I think Funnl.ai is an awesome tool to get them on the road of selling. There are companies that sell data.
Yeah.
There are companies that sell platforms for emailing. There are not many companies that are there which do all of this together. So, and more than anything else, I don't think there are a lot of companies that actually help you understand who you are supposed to be going after. See, because we run a lot of campaigns. We run about 100 to 200 customers. We run thousands of campaigns at a given time. And there's a lot of inputs that come in from those campaigns, responses. So we are able to pretty well understand using technology. Again, going back to, that's where the enabler, technology as an enabler is what I see, AI. Understanding what kind of people are responding to what kind of messages, what kind of titles are essentially working, or what kind of roles are the most prominent roles for a certain kind of solutions or products. Those inputs that reside in our system. So using that and extreme, machine learning and artificial intelligence and all of that, we are able to actually tell our customers, prospects who are coming to Funnl, that if you give 3 or 4 names of your ideal customer or your existing customer, we would be able to give you, based on our knowledge, who are you supposed to sell into? What are the titles that make best sense to you? What is the kind of messaging that you should be writing to them using, again, ChatGPT? So all of this put together is what we are trying to create a system that does end-to-end lead generation. I mean, I really don't like to call it lead generation. I would say sales meeting generation for a customer on their own. But of course, like Shashi, the play is about data. So if as the customer company scales, obviously they would need a lot more data. And then the SaaS probably, from a SaaS platform, they probably migrate into an actual managed services kind of thing. But at the beginning, for a company that's a small company, which is getting started, which is mostly run by the founder himself or herself, I think Funnl.ai is an awesome tool to get them on the road of selling. Like I said, this is just going to open the door for you. The salesperson has to still walk in. And I'm going back to, I think it's the Matrix movie, I can only open the door for you. You got to walk in. That's exactly what ChatGPT or AI is doing. The salesperson, what is the company all about? It's especially in enterprise, it's all about selling. It's all about selling, delivering, and collecting the money from the customer, right? Sell, Dell, Co. So sell, deliver, and collect. That's all it's about. But it all starts with sales. And sales function that's why such an important function. And for us, being associated with a salesperson is really the proud. That's what the fuel is for us. The salesperson actually telling, hey, that helped. That kind of helped me to get into the next stage. Enterprise sales scenario, never. I mean, in fact, they're going to be having more jobs coming because of this, because more opportunities are coming through. So when you previously had only 5 meetings to do, now you're having 50 meetings to do. So the salesperson, obviously, I think most salespeople are going to get hired thanks to all these technology revolutions that are happening. Because at the end of the day, tech is helping them identify, reach out, and the last leg is still theirs. The last leg, still the salesperson is required. At least, I'm my expertise or my experience is all about enterprise sales. I mean, the larger deals being sold, $1 million, or even always selling to larger companies. So I would not be the right person to comment on a B2C scenario, but in a B2B scenario, pretty much the salesperson is here to stay. For an entrepreneur, it's all about staying there, not giving up that easily, making sure that you're married to your goals, but not to your plans.
Okay,
so
interesting.
You can change your plans. There's no harm in doing that, but don't change your goals. The goal, you can achieve it in different ways, but stay married to your goal, stay, continuously confer it, but don't say that this is the only way I'm going to get there. No, there are a million paths to get there, like different rivers mingle the water in the same sea. You could take different paths, but you have to get to the goal. So that's one thing about the entrepreneur. But when the new generation is coming up, probably for the younger guys out there, my take is that let's not use shortcuts. There is no way that you'll be successful if we try and push shortcuts. It's very rare that you're going to get that escalator. You got to use the stairs, and it keeps you fit, right? When you run up the stairs, when you get there, you're a fit guy. So I think this means a lot. So let's not wait. Let's not depend on the escalators. It's rarely available for a salesperson. You got to use the stairs.
Yeah. So keep updated. Keep honing the skills.
Skills. Absolutely. Every single day, read, understand, and of course, like I said, learn from somebody who knows this. It could be anybody. Like. It's not like the person has to be more senior than I am or junior than I am. There's always a learning from everybody out there. Like if I were to learn to ride an auto rickshaw, I learn it from a auto rickshaw driver, right? So it's as simple as that. He's an expert. He's the guru. So understand who's the guru and learn from him. That's about it. Pretty easy because it's free. You get your credits free. You can get started. It's just simple 3 steps. So, I think it takes about 10 minutes to set up and start running your campaigns with the help of AI ChatGPT, everything that is there already integrated into it. And the data, of course, from Funnl's repository, which is to a big extent, I would say, intent data, because these are all based on real campaigns, real responses, and real human beings sitting and curating the data. So that's a lot of value that is out there. And I think it's great if people try it out.